Lindsay and today we are making the perfect recipe for cookie decorating with the best Cutout sugar cookies. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to tap that subscribe button to be the first to see my all new videos. This is my go-to recipe for perfect thick Cutout cookies. These tender, soft cookies with crisp, clean, perfect edges are the best canvas for flooding with sweet icing on top. Literally, nothing is worse than when you make a batch of beautiful cookie dough and you cut out all your shapes and you pop them in the oven, get all your icings and decorations ready, and then the timer goes off and you rush to the oven and you have like a cookie sheet full of these disformed blobs of puffy dough and they totally lost their shape. This recipe, you guys, is gonna solve all of those problems. It comes out perfect every time. You can pretty much use any shaped cookie cutter and decorate them as simple or as elaborate as you want. Okay, so we start with the dough, and as always, I'll leave the full written recipe for you guys down below, or you can get it on my website at lindsayandbakes.com. So in a small bowl, just whisk together the flour, baking powder, and salt. Then just set that aside, and in our mixing bowl, we're just gonna beat together some softened butter and some sugar on medium speed until it's nice and smooth and combined for about 1 to 2 minutes. A lot of recipes might tell you to beat this until it's pale and fluffy for like 3 to 5 minutes, but we don't want to incorporate too much air into the dough because that's gonna cause it to puff up a little bit more and spread. And we want those perfect, crisp, clean edges, so we don't want to incorporate too much air. We just want it nice and smooth and combined. Then on low speed, we're gonna beat in our egg and vanilla extract. Then slowly beat in the flour mixture until the dough forms and is no longer sticking. And this sugar cookie dough base is super versatile. You can flavor it however you want. If you want to add a little lemon zest to give it a little zing, if you want to add a little cinnamon to give it some spice, you could even add espresso powder or even sprinkles. Then just roll out your dough about 1/3 to 1/4 inch thick. And a little trick I use when we roll out the dough is I like to roll it between 2 big pieces of parchment paper. This way you don't need to add any extra flour to roll it out on, and it doesn't end up sticking to the rolling pin or the table, so you can just pop them in the fridge to firm up a bit, and then you're all set to cut out your shapes. Then just transfer your sheet of cookie dough to your baking sheet, and we're gonna pop this in the fridge for at least an hour. I like to do it overnight just so it has a chance to really firm up so we get those perfect cookies. All right, now that our dough is nice and chilled, we're just gonna preheat the oven and we can start cutting out our shapes. So I'm using a little heart cookie cutter today, but you can do any kind of cookie cutter you want. And just cut out your shapes and transfer them to a parchment or silicone lined baking sheet. You want to work fairly quickly while the dough is still cold and firm. That way when you transfer it from where you're cutting it out to the cookie sheet, they don't start to, get soft and lose their shape. And my little trick for getting these to hold their shape perfectly when they bake, we're just gonna pop them in the freezer for about 10 minutes and then into the oven they go. Once the cookies have chilled, we're just gonna bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes in a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven or until they're just cooked through. You guys, look how good these turned out. I told you they would turn out perfect. I like my cookies pale in color and a little bit softer, but you can also bake them for an additional minute if you want them a little bit crunchier until they're lightly golden brown around the edges. And what I love most about this recipe is they freeze beautifully, so you can make a big batch of them, bake them, pop them in the freezer, and then when you're ready, just pull them out and decorate and you're all set. So I'm just gonna let these cool in the baking sheet for about 10 minutes before we transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely, and then we can start decorating, so I'm gonna get our icing ready. So I like to decorate these in my sweet, simple, hard-drying cookie icing. It could not be easier, you guys. So just add a cup of powdered sugar, 2 to 3 teaspoons of milk or water, 2 teaspoons of corn syrup, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract or almond extract, and mix this all together until it's nice and smooth. And I added a drop of pink food coloring to mine, but you could just leave it white, or you can divide the icing up and make each bowl a different color. And the icing doubles or triples super easily, so if you want a bigger batch of icing to get really creative with the decorating, go ahead and double the recipe. I just like to spoon it into a little plastic baggie and snip off a little piece of the corner and pipe an outline onto the tops of the cookies to create a border from the thick consistency icing. And you could do this in a real piping bag too if you want. It's just gonna make it easier to pipe onto the cookies, and it's just a super easy way to do it. Okay, so once you have your perfect border on your cookies, just let that dry a little bit, and then you can go ahead and add a teaspoon or 2 of milk or water to the rest of your icing bag and squish it around until it's nice and smooth. And then we're just gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of our cookie with the icing. Then go ahead and let it dry, and you have your perfect, simple, delicious Cutout sugar cookies. And just make sure to let them dry overnight so they're nice and hard, and then you can stack them and package them up for gift giving. And just go ahead and store these in an airtight container at room temperature for up to a week, or wrap them up really well and stick them in the freezer for up to a few months. All right, the best part, the taste test. And if you guys give these a try, be sure to tag me in a picture on social media at lindsayandbakes, or share this video with somebody who you would love to make these sugar cookies with. All right, let's give it a taste. Guys, these are my favorite. They're soft and buttery, but a little bit crunchy, and the icing is just perfectly sweet. These are like a go-to recipe that you have to have in your recipe collection. You need to try these. And if you guys love this recipe, you are gonna love my watercolor sugar cookies or my lollipop cookies. So be sure to check those videos out too. So there you have my best ever cutout sugar cookies. Thanks so much for watching and commenting. You guys are the best. I love you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for tons more videos that I know you're gonna love. And I'll see you right here next time. Bye guys. Okay, you're gonna be excited about this one. This week's YouTube video has been highly requested. We're doing my perfect cutout sugar cookies. These are perfect and buttery and soft with those crispy edges and hard drying cookie icing that is so easy. I kind of just want to keep talking to you guys to check myself out in these snazzy glasses, but I made little pink hearts this time. I've also used this recipe to make the cutest little Christmas tree cookies, but it's super versatile. You can do any shape, decorate them however you like.